Hi guys, Ian here, and today we have a sit down table talk. We are in the middle of a heat wave here in Jersey. I tell you, we don't get triple digits too much. I don't know what you can hear. I have the air conditioner on, and I'm going to use that noise reduction out or reducer. I forget what it's called. So hopefully you don't hear it because this is how it sounds when I leave the noise in. Yeah, it's loud. See? It's loud. So I'm going to take it out. It is in the afternoon. Where's my phone? I don't know why I decided to film like midday. It is 1:39, saying severe weather. What is the temperature? I had just filmed a couple unboxings for my beauty channel, Just Ann. If you don't know, I do like unboxings and different things. And the fuse went out a few times as I was filming because you guys know I film in the attic. And this was converted, oh God, years ago. So it has like the old wiring. So I think because I have all these lights on the AC, these lights, it keeps going off. So, okay, I'll put a screenshot right here. I literally just took it. It is reading with the heat index is 115. I know. Poor Aura. I don't even know if you can see her. Can you see her? Usually she's on my bed and the AC's right here. So anyway, I filmed a few unboxings and I didn't even turn. Usually I have like a little light here to make this a little bit brighter, but it would just get too hot. And being on the third floor, it's even hotter in the house, like, right? Because we don't have central air, it's just AC. So anyhow, I put on my community post, I'm like, for the next few days, I ain't doing no car vlogs. I'm not doing no outside vlogs unless maybe I should get up like early because I get up early anyway. I always get up between like 6:30 and 7 a.m. every morning. Even if I go to bed at 3 a.m. I don't know. I don't know why. I always get up. My body just wakes up usually. Unless I have somewhere to go, an appointment or something, then it's like for some reason I don't feel like getting up. I have to set my alarm. It's weird how the mind works. And I should like drinking my coffee or something just because then it's not so hot first thing in the morning. I keep telling you, I don't know how y'all do it. How do you all do it that lives in like Texas or Arizona or California, or Alabama or wherever? I would die. Every day. Like I said, because we don't usually like when it's hot, it's like like 90, 95, and then like we always have like the humidity is always high, right? But not like this, where it literally says is 101 and then reading 115. We ain't used to it. Do you guys remember last year that it was hot? I think it was like 108 then. And I go use the bathroom because like I said, we have window air conditioning. So I have one up here. Okay, my bedroom's in the attic, right? And then we have 3 bedrooms downstairs, on the second floor, and each of the kids have an air condition. So when they're at work or not home, I keep the doors open so the hallway gets a little cool. But if they're home and their doors are shut, it's like coming from the attic down. It's like a heat wave. And so because this house is 125 years old, I don't know why when they redid that bathroom in 2018 from the house fire, why they didn't I don't know. We got a new window, but they didn't like custom it. Well, anyway, so the window is like very narrow, tall, but narrow. So an air conditioner won't fit in there. And so it's extremely hot. So one day I go to use the bathroom and I'm like, what the hell do I see? The shower curtain was like kind of pulled back a little bit and I see like blue foam. I'm like, it scared me for a minute. I'm like, what the heck is that? It was a damn shaving cream exploded. That's how hot it gets in here, right? And so I have one of those fans I picked up at Home Depot that fits in there. And like you can either put the fan, the blow on you, or the exhaust. And I usually have the exhaust running so that like the fan, so that way it takes out some of the hot air, pulls it out, But you can't take a shower no 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon because you're just going to go right back in there. You're going to be sweating. So anyway, so there's the air condition here. The kids have it in their room. So there's 4. And then downstairs, we have a front room and like a living room, right? So in the one living room, I have an air condition, okay? And then we have a dining room, a kitchen, and then like a half a bathroom off the kitchen. So I don't have an air conditioner in the dining room because our electric bills, I've showed you last year. Do you guys remember? Because some of you guys didn't believe me and I showed you. July, August, September, our electric bill is like $800 or more. So if we have another one, I mean, our electric bill will be a lot more. And so the dining room isn't so bad. It's hot, but because of that, but that kitchen is really hot. So there is no cooking. That stove don't even go on when it's like heat wave. You know what I mean? So either we have salads, we order or cold cuts or something like that, you know, because I told my kids today's Monday. I'm like, it's today Tuesday. Today's Monday. I'm like Monday, Tuesday, and I don't know about Wednesday, but I ain't doing no cooking. All that to say, it's hot. My last vlog, I gave you an update saying that I'm not okay. I'm getting better. Like today, I feel pretty good, even though I'm hot. But I do. Mentally, I feel pretty good. But I was in a funk for like the longest time. Sorry, I got to take these. I'm getting hot, okay? By the end of this vlog, I might have my damn hairpiece out because it's hot. So I told you a little bit about Lexi with her boyfriend coming over. And, you know, I always share that, like, I don't let them spend the night and they have a curfew who comes here, unless it's a girl, you know. But, and so many of you, not so many, but a few of you guys, I always get a few comments like, well, why not? Why don't you let, you know, they're older and stuff. And I'm bringing this up for a reason. I have to tell you about, I stumbled on somebody's, live stream and they were actually talking about me and what the rules for my kids. I was shocked. Anyway, so, but usually in the comments, because, you know, my son is 29, Lexi's 24, and Isaiah's 20. Well, Isaiah is way too young anyway. I mean, he's only 20, okay? He'll be 21 next month, but still. And, you know, like I always say, like with Lexi, you know, I allow her boyfriend to come over. He can come over whenever he wants. I'm not every day, but like whenever he wants. And, you know, Lexi will cook for him, or they hang out outside on the porch in her room. They have a whole house. I don't care what they do. But I just, you know, at a certain time at 11 o'clock, which most of the time he's gone by then anyway, because Alexi works 11 to 7. So, but even on her days off, like, no, definitely no spending the night. And a lot of you guys ask me because, you know, she's 24. She'll be 25 next month as well. And, you know, and I've said this before, I wasn't raised that way. I wasn't even allowed to have boys come over. Let's keep that a buck. Even when I had kids, you know, unless I was married or something like that. But when I was younger, no. They didn't even, still, no. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, I wasn't raised like that. And I don't know. I raised my kids in the church when they were younger. I don't know. For me, I don't judge anybody else's parenting styles. If somebody wants to have their kid, you know, I might side eye you if you have a kid that's a minor and have boys spending the night. That's, you know, I'm not going to lie about that. But if your kids are adults and you allow men to spend the night, then I don't care. You know, that's not my business. Like I've always told Lexi, look what happened to me. When you have these guys and you allow them to even move in with you or what have you, now a lot of times I think, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? And that's true. You know, I mean, if you're like, I always told my daughter, what I've learned, okay, don't act like a wife when you're not married. Act like a girlfriend, not a wife. Right? And that's just the truth. And that's just how I feel. And plus, I think it's disrespectful. And my kids never even asked me anyway. So they never even put me in that predicament, like, because they have respect for me. And as far as Tyler, yes, he's older, but he's not even in a serious relationship. He's got different, you know, whatever he does. So, and I don't want him teaching Isaiah, who's only 20, different. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, so let's get to this. I was shocked. This happened about a month or two ago. And there was this one content creator that I hear a few people talking about. So, you know, I wanted to check her out, see like who she was and all that. She was going live. And so I was watching for a little bit, and then I seen like a few people on panel that like I know of, right? Like we never had conversations or anything like that. But anyway, so all of a sudden this one girl, female, comes on this person's content, this person's YouTube channel. So there were like 5 of them on panel. So the one girl says, not the one that YouTube that owns the channel, but another person that came on goes, oh, let me tell you the scoop, or however she said it. She goes, just Ann makes her kids pay rent, and her son, she makes her son pay $1,500 a month rent. I can't make this up. And I was like, what? I had to rewind now. I'm like, are they talking about me? And then there was a guy creator on there and was like, what? Oh my God, she takes advantage of her kids. I'm paraphrasing. She overcharges. I can't believe they charge that. Yeah, she's got her kids paying her rent or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, first of all, my house is paid off, so I don't have mortgage or rent, okay? So before you start speaking on me and my children or my household, know what you're talking about, okay? So I don't use them to pay my bills, okay? Because I don't have rent or mortgage. It's paid off. I pay taxes every 3 months on the house, right? Because you have to pay the house taxes regardless if your house is paid off, all right? You have to pay for the land, or whatever your taxes, like sewer, trash. I guess the land's paid off, right? Because of the I don't know. But you pay for the trash, the sewer, the water bill, all of that you have to pay. And then they're talking about, yeah, she don't let her, the one girl says, just like this, she used the word nookie. I don't know who uses the word nookie in it nowadays. And she doesn't even let her son come over there and get some nookie. And they're all sitting there talking about it. Now, the one that has the channel, that's her channel, she didn't say anything. She stayed quiet, but she allowed it to go on. She allowed it on her channel, right? So I'm like, she ain't gonna like shut them up. Like, look, we don't talk about people's kids, because this group of people always say, we don't talk about kids or your enemy's kids or what have you. And I'm thinking, but you're talking about my kids. I don't care if they're adults or not. Like, why are you talking about my kids and what they did? Like, it's just weird. And I thought to myself, well, would you do that with your parents? You would be 29 years old, living with your mother and not paying no rent. Well, that's something about you. Because if you don't think my son's going to pay me rent, and let's keep it a buck. I was like, what? Let's keep it a buck. I ain't never gave my son a set price. My son is the one who said, here, Mom, every month he'll give me $1,500. And then every 3 months, because of taxes, he gives me $2,000 on the first, or on the end of the last day of the month. Like say, he'll get May 30th for June 1st or what have you. I don't even ask him. He says, here, Mom. Sometimes I'm in the shower at night and I'll come up in my room and on my bed, there's money there. I never gave my son a set price. That's what he wants to give me. And then check this out for the haters that like to talk about me. If I need help towards the end of the month, he gives me more money. My son just gave me another $500 to put in the bank to go pay some other bills. Yeah. Because last month, I didn't film a lot because, with Chuck's passing and everything. So, I didn't get paid as much. So, yeah. But it's mind-boggling. Like, I understand, like, I talk about my personal life. So, yeah, like, if you guys are subscribed to me and want to ask me questions, it's still, like, weird. Imagine somebody asking you how you parent or your household. I'm just saying, like, can you imagine somebody coming to you and say, well, why don't you have your kids pay rent, or why do you pay this month? Whatever the case may be. It's just, right? But I deal with it. But to take it on somebody's, like, panel, like a group of 5 adults talking that I don't even know like that, I was like, wow. Is it that big of a deal that it's like something? And mind you, this person has a 23-year-old son, I think, stays with her. And it's like, well, maybe that's an issue if your 23-year-old son don't pay your rent. Or maybe he don't work. And this is going to sound ignorant. Or maybe he don't work or can't pay the money to help you. My kids can. All 3 of my kids work. And they all help. They all chip in. That's what they do. I'm teaching my kids responsibility. If your son is 23 and ain't paying your rent, then you ain't teaching them responsibility. Even if you're just charging $100, you need to charge them something so they know that they have to pay where they lay their head. But anyway, it was like, wow. I mean, do you think I'm overreacting? Wouldn't that be like, I was shocked. And guess what? I never watched that channel again. I wasn't even going to subscribe. The fact that you didn't even shut that down. Like, That's crazy. And then they were like, wow, she takes advantage of her kids. And like so they weren't just talking about rent. They were like talking about my parenting. I don't know. It's just weird. And then talking about the rules I have. And it's like all of my kids know. If you don't like my rules, you can leave. I've never told my kids you can't move out. Leave. They know that. No, it's cheaper. Nowadays it's cheaper to live here, save your money, build your credit. This is why Tyler hasn't moved out. He wants to build his own house. He wants to buy land and build his own house. And when he gets in a serious relationship and has kids and all that, he wants to be financially stable, right? And he wants to have all his toys now because he knows once he gets married or has kids, then they come first, right? And so he's building his credit, right? He's saving money. He's going places and doing things. He can just take a trip if he wants to drive to Philly or what, he can do whatever he wants, right? My daughter, I'm trying to teach my daughter the same thing. Look, you guys know I raised you guys in the projects and we struggled. Why? Because I didn't go to college. I had to start having kids at a young age, right? And all this kind of stuff. And I wasn't married and, settled down and all this type of stuff. And, so I want better. My daughter went to college and she's taken other classes now and she's working and works doubles to save her money and she wants to be a traveling nurse, right? Isaiah, he's only 20. He's putting himself through college and he wants to work with something with computers. I don't know, IT or something. I don't know what he wants to do. Something with that. I don't know nothing about computers, but and so Isaiah has over an 800 credit score at 20 years old. He'll be 21 next month. Yeah. Because he's living at home. He makes sure he pays his car payment, his car insurance, like his own bills. He pays his cell phone, all of that, all his clothes, all of, all that type of stuff. But you live here, so at least give me money for food and stuff because you're eating the food. And that's how I want my kids. That's how you create generational wealth. Instead of when a kid turns 18 or 20 and say, oh, they're old enough, move out. Well, that's why nowadays kids are struggling and why they're claiming bankruptcy and having all these issues, right? And really nowadays, America needs to go back to how it used to be back in the day where it was the grandmother, the mother, and then the kids, like grandkids, right? And that's how it really has to be now. And that's how you create generational wealth and they're not struggling. Because right now, if all of us lived separately, all four of us, me and the three kids, would be struggling. Why? Why not all live together? They're never home. It's not like we're on top of each other, right? Lexi works overnights and a lot of times she works doubles, right? And then she goes out, whatever she does. Isaiah, okay, he's 20. So he works, he gets home at 4:30, eats dinner, whatever, takes a shower, and then he goes out because he's 20, of course. He goes out, hangs out with his friends or what have you. And Tyler, he's always out. So usually I have the whole house to myself all day and most of the night. So it'd be different if we're like on top of each other and all this kind of stuff, but it's not like that. And, it just catches, I don't know. It surprises me how many people are like surprised that, I hear like even other, it's like, I don't know. It's just, we're like, when I hear like, oh, her kids take care of her. I don't know. I do get paid from YouTube. I do make money on YouTube, I don't know. It's just weird to me. I just want to bring that up. That caught me off guard when literally I was their content. It's like, what? Like my children were. That's what really pissed me off. Like, why are you even bringing up my children? I don't know. It was just weird. So that is that. I think I'm hot and getting into a rant, so maybe I'll make this a little short and sweet because I think that says 20 minutes already without editing. Oh my goodness, the puppy, Akira. She got beat up by a cat. Not really, but kind of. I was laughing. Okay, so Akira, she loves everybody and animals. And if somebody comes over, she gets all excited. She'll run to her toy box and her favorite toy is like this rolled up newspaper. and she'll go get it or she'll bring it and show whoever like her toy, and she's like all excited. Like if I just had a Kira and somebody like came in to rob me or like burglarize me, I mean, she'd help them burglarize. You know what I mean? Like she's very, very friendly. And there's a lot of stray cats. And, you know, I told you, like, outside in the back, we have a fenced-in yard. And then in the back, you can also pull in to park. And you can park in front, too. But it's like street parking. Like, we don't have a driveway. Out by that tree that I hate, I also have, like, a thing that's in the ground with a, like, a long, like, a line. What is it called? Not a clothesline. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. And so, like, you know, she's all sniffing around and playing. Well, there's this black cat. It's this, ever since it was a kitten, and I think my one neighbor, like, feeds it and all of that. So it always comes in my yard and stuff. And it was by the tree. And Akira was all happy, and her tail was wagging, her little hip was moving real fast and all excited. And she put her little head around the tree, you know, to play with the cat. And that cat went boom, 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 so fast. I was like, holy crap. I didn't even know cats were that fast with their thing. It didn't scratch her because there was no blood or anything. And I don't think the cat used his claws either. Just was like, not like boom, boom, boom. It was like boom, boom, boom. And Akira, after the cat was done and the cat took off, and Akira, she went like this, and then she looked at me like, what the hell just happened? And I felt so bad. She put her head down and laid down like she was defeated. Oh, I felt so bad for her. You had to see it. It was so funny. Oh my God. It was her face. And so anyway, you know, that's what I do. Like I tell you guys, like in the morning, how each dog is different because I get up very early. So 6:30, 7 o'clock. And I go downstairs and, you know, make my coffee and stuff. And I always let all three dogs out, right? And I tell you, Aura, she's the jackass out of the asshole, right? Because like she takes her time and she's tired, and then she'll like outside sniffing, and she'll look at you, and then sometimes it's hard for her to even come down the steps or go back up the steps, or, you know, it's only in the morning time. Other than that, she's so good. And then Akira, she just listens so good. Oh my gosh, she listens so good. And Nala, you need to hold on to that banister because she takes off running outside and then comes back in, and she's running back upstairs or like on the second floor laid like, or she'll lay like stay downstairs. Like she's ready to go out, come back in, and go back to sleep, you know. But it was funny today. Aura, I was like, today's going to be a good day. I even posted on my community post because she got right up, didn't give me any problems, came right back in. I was like, well, this is unnormal, like not normal. But anyway, so I always do that in the morning. And then, you know, whatever I do. And then I'm outside a lot. I love being outside. So the dogs are outside just about all day long. Or a lot of times, like I said, we have that fenced in yard that, I mean, especially Nala, for hours, I just let her outside, and then she like lays on the porch, and I have one of those cooling mats, you know, and she'll lay on there for hours. My dogs do, you know, so I don't want people thinking like they stay. I guess I got a comment like that when I said that. And somebody was like, oh, well, maybe they don't feel like being stuffed in the house for 7 or 8 hours. I'm like, who said they were in my house for 7 or 8 hours? No, they're out. But when I wake up, I am not a morning person. I want to have my coffee and wake up. So go out, do your business, and come the hell back in, right? And then once I wake up, I don't care. You can go out as long as you want. But anyway, so I've been taking Akira out, and then today, well, it's hot, but today I took her out for a little bit. She was looking for the cat. I didn't see the cat, because it's so hot right now. But maybe tomorrow morning, because I noticed early in the morning the cat lays on my grass. So I'll take her little by little so they can kind of get acquainted. Because the cat stayed there until Akira like popped her head around. So it wasn't like she had fear, I don't think, at first. You know what I mean? It's just that until she got a little close. So she's not like feral, but she's feral. Does that make sense? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll start in the mornings and start filming and stuff. Gosh, it was so funny, but also I was so sad for Kira because she really wanted to be her friend. I was like, oh, that's all that I have to tell you. I just want to come on because I didn't want my last vlog to be where I'm not okay. I'm struggling. You know, I don't want you guys worrying because I know a few of you had DM'd me on Instagram to see if I was okay. So I want to just come back when I am doing better. But I'm just going to start being honest. I'm not going to like always fake the funk. Like, you know what I mean? And I am learning also when I'm going through things to stay offline. Chuck really hit hard. I think one, because I'm diabetic as well and my health isn't good, and he passed away at the age of 50, and I'll be 50 next year. So it was like, ooh, and I've known him for 35 years. Now, we weren't in a relationship at that time, but he's still my daughter's father, right? There's still that type of love. I've known him since I was 14, and he was a good father. And I knew his family really well. Like, we still kept in contact, and all of it was just sad, and I was hurt for my child. It was a different type of pain when you see your child hurting like that. All right, I'm going to get off of here. Don't forget, thumbs up the video, thumbs it down. Make sure you leave a comment. Commenting really helps with engagement. Even if you leave 10 comments, like on each, like separate comments, not all in one comment, that would really help me out with engagement. Just don't leave like emojis in each comment because then it'll look like spam. But the more comments I get, the more engagement and the more YouTube will help promote this channel. And, I definitely needed to get promoted. I definitely do, because it's my own fault I haven't stayed consistent, And please thumbs up the video. That helps out a lot as well. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, and most importantly, always stay you. Never let somebody take you out of your character. Do as I say, not as I do. Bye, guys. All done, girl. You ready to go downstairs? You want Mom to get you some ice water? Want to get some ice? Bye.